Visit ccgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going, actually not live, but pre-record video. So this is the deck list from Toronto Regionals, expanded format, first place, Night March deck. Jimmy Pendarvis played it, and he beats in the final Zorak deck. The other decks in the top 8 was, I think, 3 or 4 Trevenants, Counterbox, and Archie's Blastoise. So we again have this powerful Night March deck. Managed to win first place once again. So if you're not familiar with the Night March deck, Night March actually does 20 damage for each Pokemon with Night March in your discard pile. So something similar to the Lost March in the current format, but just you don't need to put your Pokemons in the Lost Zone. It is much more faster and effective, especially with cards like Battle Compressor. So I'm gonna go quickly through the deck list, and then obviously I'm gonna try to play one game with it, so you can see it also in the action. So going from the left to right, over the years we got some cool cards for the Night March deck, like Oranguru. So with Instruct we can basically draw cards until we have 3 in our hand. There's also Shadow Hunt Marshadow GX that can also copy attacks from Pokemons in discard pile. So for example, with just a single double Course Energy on Marshadow GX, we can copy Joltik's Night March and hit for 20 times the amount of Night March Pokemons we have in a discard pile. It's also easy to one-hit knockout Zorak GX, for example, with only 5 Night Marchers and Choice Band, for example. But since this deck also plays Choice Band, it's even easier to increase the damage done to our opponent's Pokemon in play. So Shaman, it's good old setup Pokemon in this build. 2 copies of Shamans, 1 copy of Tapu Lele with the Wonder Tag, Energy Drive. Can also be used, and it's quite obvious that this deck plays 4 copies of each Joltik, Pumpkaboo, and Lampent with Night March. In addition to that, we're also gonna find a couple interesting tech cards. For example, Electro Power, because with Electro Power damage can also be increased for 30 more damage, which basically means that Joltik can hit, in theory, if we have 11 Pokemons in discard pile and 1 Joltik, this is going to be 220. With 2 Electro Powers, this damage can be increased up to 280, and with a Choice Band up to 310, which can be enough for the one-hit knockout against pretty much everything that's ever been printed. Actually, expect if we count Venusaur with buff padding, because I think then Venusaur has like 320 HP or something like that. Anyways, so A-Spec is Dowsing Machine, quite obvious. The best A-Spec that you can use in Lost March, in my opinion. It's even much stronger and better than Computer Search. Maybe Live Dew can also be useful, but it can easily be scrapped, so in my opinion not that good. Good for the Legacy format, but not definitely for Expanded. What else? We're gonna find pretty much 4 Bell Compressors as a staple. Search your deck for 3 cards, then discard them, mainly used for that discarding of the Lost Marches, Night Marches. I don't know why I'm still trying to say Lost March. 1 Escape Rope as a tech. Then also 1 copy of Field Blower. Interesting decision to go with a Field Blower. Quite obvious, it's better than Tool Scraper in expanded format, because it can also remove Stadium if it's necessary. 3 copies of Aurapet, very interesting card, which says that you can flip a coin, and if you get heads, you can search your deck for item card available to put in your hand, which is very powerful in this build, because you can grab yourself item that you can simply discard and then pick it with Dowsing Machine, for example, if you need to play it. let's say Ultra Ball or maybe Versus Seeker or maybe something like that. But you don't want to waste the Dowsing Machine for Versus Seeker, because with Dowsing Machine you can put just trainer card like supporter in your hand. Then 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher, 1 special charge, which is very important for this build, mainly because this deck only uses special energies. I'm wondering how this deck can actually beat something like Circuitry. If I was personally attempting that tournament, I would probably tech 1 copy of Circuitry in my deck just to face Night March and have, you know, auto win against it. Especially if I play special energies like Rainbow Energies. 4 copies of Trainer's Mail, also part of this build, as well as 4 copies of Ultra Ball and 4 copies of Versus Seeker. I guess I don't need to spend too much time explaining why. 3 different stadiums, interesting decision. 1 Dimension Valley, 1 Pearl City, and 1 Silent Lab with the Pearl City. Lost March. Night March can have actually strong setup versus Zoroark. With Silent Lab, it's quite obvious that you can shut down, for example, some of basic Pokemon's abilities like Shaman's or Rangroos, and maybe even let loose Marshadows. And yeah, with Dimension Valley pretty much for that Pukkaboo Night March attack. Supporter lineup, not too rich, I guess, just 5 supporter cards, 1 Guzma, 1 copy of N, 3 Junipers, and 1 copy of Teammates. In case if your Pokemon was knocked out during your last turn, you can just search your deck for actually any 2 cards that you really need, which is very strong in this case. 2 Choice Bands, 1 Floatstone, and 4 copies of double Colorless Energies also included in this build. It's a very, very interesting deck list with plenty of options and flexibilities available in this build, so make sure to hit a thumbs up and sub the channel for more videos if you already didn't before we start to play this game, so you can actually see how this deck works in action. And there we go. So waiting my opponent for that coin flip so we can see who's gonna start first. Since I won the coin flip in expanded format, you always want to start first, especially if you're gonna face some sort of, let's say, item lock decks like Trevenant. So looking at my opening hand, it's not the best. I didn't play expanded format in a while, to be honest. Probably like a year or something like that. I don't know when was the last time that I uploaded something on my channel that was with expanded format. Really have no idea. But there we go, starting with the Marshadow GX. Not bad starting Pokemon, to be honest, just because it can copy Joltik attack for free. I just need to have that double Colorless Energy attached. Let's see, Trainer's Mail, maybe for some sort of Battle Compressor, maybe for just Professor Juniper. As it looks right now, we're gonna go with some sort of Dowsing Machine, Professor Juniper, and Lamp in play for another Trainer's Mail. Let's see what we can get with that Trainer's Mail Battle Compressor. That sounds much more better. Alright, I'm even thinking about playing this N, to be honest. If I have N available, and I have it. I don't know why, but maybe for now I can just... Maybe I can just set up Shaman for 3 and see what I can get with it. Another Bell Compressor is a good way to go. I can also throw out my teammates. I can put Silent Lab in play because it's the turn 1, and then I can play pretty much that N. Alright, so there's Joltik available for me, and then I'm gonna play another Bell Compressor, so I can throw 1 more Joltik, 1 more Pukkaboo, and I think I can even consider discarding. So yeah, I don't have access to Guzma. which means I will probably consider just discarding these two cards for now. Alright. Do I need Order Path for now? I think I don't. So for now I'm just gonna pass the turn. So there's like 7 Night March Pokemons in my discard pile for the turn 1. That's already 140 damage. Because my opponent Blitzy is also weak, I can hit for even more. I do have Versus Seeker just in case of being knocked out. I can easily grab some supporter card from my discard pile, put it back into my hand, and play it. And Bell Compressor also on the other side of the field. We're gonna see interesting Zebstrika Blitzy and Execute a Discardment. Alright, there's a Mr. Mime, so for the bench barrier. And it is my turn. Alright. Still, I'm gonna need some sort of autopad. I'm thinking just about getting that Trainer's Mail so I can thin my deck a little bit more. Maybe I can even discard. I think I'm not gonna probably need this Choice Band anyways. In this situation, as it looks right now, I simply need some sort of stadium so I can remove this Silent Lab, because with this stadium in play, I can't copy anything with the Shadow Hunt. I do have stadium, but what else I can get? Potentially Autopad, so I can thin 2 cards in theory. Another Trainer's Mail for Electropower, sounds like a good idea. I can put another Joltik in play, and then I can play Pearl City, facing actually my opponent down to 3, because I still need to find a way to get, you know, energy card, so I can attack this turn. And this is going to be Electropower play, and then Ultra Ball as well for a copy of Marshadow. I can even consider going on with my Instruct, but I guess I have greater chance to pull what I need with Marshadow. 4 cards better than 3. No sign of energy cards. Alright. I waste way too much resources so far, and I couldn't even start attacking, so that's just insane. There's the Unknown with the Farewell Leather, which can be used right now because we just removed that Silent Lab from play. And there's a Tapu Lele, which means that if I can potentially... Yeah, I think that I personally would get better chance with... Oh, maybe my opponent surprised me there with the end, so that would be very nice from him. And I will also really appreciate that. Worst thing that can happen to me here is probably... I don't know, I mean, I don't see still attacking Pokemon on my opponent's side of the field. I don't even know which type of the deck he's playing. I'm just curious to see that. And once again, I don't have even... Probably he's playing some sort of Vespiquen Queen Flareon deck. So far, I don't even have a energy card. And that's the most scariest thing here. If we can top deck energy, and we can, 3, 6, 7. That's just only 140 damage. So my best bet is just to go for the knockout with the Night March for 140 times 2 because of the weakness, and that's it. If I had Choice Band, I would probably just play Versus Seeker for that Guzma, so I can grab 2 prize instead, knocking my opponent Tapu Lele out. But then again, when I think twice, I'm not sure how smart that idea actually would be anyways. Because I think it's maybe better to keep the Versus Seeker for teammates in case of some sort of crazy knockout from the other side of the field. But for now, I'm just Not seeing anything on my opponent bench. Just 5 Pokemons in his Discord pile, with this Zebstrika and Blitzy, that's gonna be 7. I guess Pearl City and the Silent Lab did a decent job. And then we're gonna see Mr. Mime in the active position. Mr. Mime with the bench barrier. There's a Versus Seeker for another copy of the N. Alright, this time I can refresh my hand for 5 new cards. Okay, I have another Versus Seeker there, so theoretically if my opponent don't put anything on the bench, I can go for 2 prize knockout. But then again, and there is a combi, and there is another combi. And it's my turn. So we're gonna go with Escape Rope play, and then with the Versus Seeker Guzma play. It's probably the only bad thing here is if he puts the Tapu Lele in the front. That's actually the smartest thing he can do, to put Tapu Lele instead of the combi in the active position, because then I'm not gonna be able to knock him out without another Choice Band and energy. Really interesting. So which Pokemon he will put in the active position? I'm not sure why it's taking him so long to promote something in the active position. But Guzma is here. Guzma is available. It's just a matter of time when I will use it. Okay, so he decided to go with combi in the front. And I'm ready for that. Guzma, 170 damage, knockout versus this Tapu Lele. I know that I'm losing probably potentially next turn my Marshadow GX, but it doesn't matter because I'm already a huge 3 prize cards ahead of my opponent. He can definitely close the game easily just by knocking out my Marshadow. He can take 2 prize cards with the Vespiquen, and then by playing either way Guzma or Lysander or my Shaman, he can go down to 2 prize cards and we can both be equaled, which is just insane. But then again, in order for the knockout against this Marshadow, 7, 8, he will need a couple more Pokemons. For now, if he can put Vespiquen in play, that's gonna be like 100. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so still having hard time with trolls over the internet. This guy should definitely be banned. He definitely deserves to be banned. No doubt about it. Not just for the slow play, but also for maybe trying to force you to just, concede the game so he can get coins and tokens for the ladder. People actually do that quite often, and I hate when I face that type of the player because it's just ridiculous to play against this type of the players. Yeah, that's just insane. While I'm waiting, I guess I can talk a little bit more about this deck. So yeah, I played Night March a lot. My favorite Night March version of the deck was with Gallade, Oranguru, and with Archeops. When the Hex Maniac and Archeops was not banned, that was like maybe 2 years ago or something like that, before they introduced GXs. So that was probably the last time when I was playing expanded format. So he just decided to pass us the turn, so I'm just gonna hit him, and we're gonna wait for that game to end. So yeah, that was pretty much the last time when I played in a real life expanded format, and after that I just didn't play it anymore. But probably my favorite deck in expanded format was Westpick with Flareon. I really enjoyed playing that deck. And there was also some sort of item lock decks in expanded format that I used to play a lot, like West Queen Vileplume deck. What else did I play in expanded format? I did play it sometimes. Trevenant as well. Trevenant was very powerful deck in expanded format also. I remember those good old days when Trevenant was strong. I mean, Trevenant is also strong right now as well, with Rescue Scarves. It's also very powerful. I mean, you can definitely tech some sort of Greninja Break cards in your deck that can simply prevent Trevenant from spreading the damage around the board. I'm actually curious to see if Jimmy played any games versus Trevenant. I can't remember. I watched the live stream, but I really don't remember, to be honest. So we have our troll on the other side of the field, but we're not gonna let him to win this game. It's such a shame for this guy to be actually exposed online to everyone. I'm not sure what happened to him, why he just decided to be AFK. But it doesn't matter because I actually won the game at the end, which is not even the point of this game. The deck list was the point of the game anyways, but in expanded format it's just way too hard to record a normal video because people often just concede at the turn 1, so it's just waste of the time anyways. But I hope you guys, you know, at least you appreciate this video with the deck list. We're gonna be focused more on the standard format in the future, as always. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. So yeah, have a nice day and goodbye.